Sup guys, this is the 10 things we want in Left 4 Dead 3. Number 10. Joining versus has always been a huge issue with the AI survivors being transferred out of the game. In that brief period, that character will remain idle, will not fight, will not move, will not respond, nothing. You have an inactive AI on your side, and it provides a small window of opportunity for the infected to injure or even kill him. Not only that, when you join a game in progress, you're thrust into that character's position, not properly providing the adequate time for one to register everything on screen or their surroundings. And guess what? Thereafter, you're expected to unfairly take full responsibility for that BS, and sometimes, depending on your teammates, they might both kick you out of the game. So oh joy, you spend X amount of time attempting to find a game to get kicked immediately, so yay, good luck to your future endeavors. Here's a simple solution. Unlike campaign, you're not suddenly inserted into the game, you're actually monitoring the character you have possession to play as, giving proper time for the player to prepare for the apocalypse or to play a video game. Except the time won't be indefinite. 20 seconds should be more than enough to examine everything, apply that to versus, and problem solved. A party system, enough said. Communication is essential in cooperative games. It's a necessity. We need a tool to convey our messages. A mic is a crucial device for online play, but truth is, not everyone is going to have one. Unlike console, PC has another handy method of communicating: the text box. Us console peasants, we need a mic to express ourselves. Don't get me wrong, console players aren't bound to owning mics for communicating, we're just limited without one. We found ways to quote-unquote converse. We can perform actions that denote our intentions. The flashlight and crouching feature are our primary tools, but if we acquire an in-game tool like the communication wheel, then that will help out us console players tremendously.
I need a healing.
The Left 4 Dead shop is essentially the inferior version of the almighty workshop that's exclusive to the PC. PC players have the luxury to play custom campaign, apply cosmetics in-game, and do other cutesy stuff with their mods. Console, just a base game, and we have to pay for DLC. That's not Valve sauce. Microsoft has their little greedy hands wrapped in there, and it's a business. Really, this idea was built for the console. All platforms will have it, but it will be rendered irrelevant and obsolete when one has access to the almighty worship. I believe integrating this idea into Left 4 Dead will increase the longevity of the game. When you play a game, you accumulate points in exchange for items, like skins, cosmetics, nothing too ridiculous or silly looking, nothing that will take you out of the Left 4 Dead experience or game. All skins will be grounded and settle well in the world of Left 4 Dead. Infected, do you want to be the Left 4 Dead 1 version, Left 4 Dead 2 version, or one of the many variety of skins, cosmetics we offer in the shop? Survivors, which outfit screams,
I am the danger. I am the one who knocks.
Weapons, it will feel like there are about 100 plus weapons in the game, but in reality it's less than half that amount. It's about casting an illusion upon the players. The AI director will assemble the selected skins from each player within that specific site and randomly choose those specific skins and arrange them and place them in game. For the survivors, weapons. For the infected, AI controlled infected, like the witch. This doesn't affect your personal skin for the playable infected. To reduce confusion for the survivors, when you're about to pick up a weapon and when you're wielding the weapon, it will display an icon of the original weapon skin. That's just one of many things you can get from the workshop. Perhaps you would like to purchase bios of the infected, learn the extent of their mutation, or we'd like to delve deeper into the survivor's character. Fun facts about the infected and survivors, little comics, info on some parts of the map, what it was like before the apocalypse, and other neat details of past games. There are two ways to unlock an item. Number 1, purchase it with Left 4 Dead points, or complete a challenge that's binded to that specific reward. In Left 4 Dead 2, the way to accrue points is by calculating the amount of distance a team have covered. Sometimes that made the player's priority over teamwork, and that's a shame. It's understandable at some points if you're in a hopeless situation or if your team encouraged you to go ahead without them. Though there's many instances where players could have stayed and contributed in that fight and might have made an impact and difference. Instead, they willingly abandoned their team just for a few extra points. I mean, as long as you win, it doesn't matter, right? That's not the right mentality to have in a cooperative game. The versus point formula needs a dire rework. I wholeheartedly trust Valve's ability to be able to develop a fair and comprehensible scoring formula that takes multiple aspects into account, as opposed to Left 4 Dead 2, basically a racing competition. Play as a special infected against AI controlled survivors. Kill them before they reach the safe room to proceed to the next chapter. Don't you just want to play as the infected without the pressure of playing against other players? Don't you want to create fresh and innovative strategies with ease? Don't you wish you could practice attacks alone or with a team and try out interesting and outlandish ideas? Well, this is a game mode for you. This is the main reason why everyone always come back to the game. Also, the almighty worship. Due to the dynamic system, we always get a new experience for every playthrough. Plaudits for the AI director for performing a fantastic job. However, I think we can take bigger risks and venture into more avenues. A daytime-nighttime cycle, dynamic weather, lighting, spontaneous events that leads to teamwork-based obstacles, dynamic path, etc. The possibilities are endless. You want a complex system, yet we had to keep the simplicity intact. It's such a hard life being an AI director. Can we all say that the melee weapons are pretty dang fun to use? And how dang overpowered they are? Erasing infected like nothing? Can one-shot any special infected with the exception of the charger, unless you get a headshot. You can kill a witch with 4 hits, tank 20 hits? That's insane. They clearly take dominance in the secondary weapons. Other than the lack of range, are there any other cons? What we need to integrate is a fatigue meter for melee weapons, like how they binded it to the shoving action. With that in place, you can't endlessly slaughter infected with ease and without worry. You have to be tactical with your shoves and melee strikes. The Magnum, I say, have a slower fire rate and more recoil or kick after each and every shot. The pistols increase the rate of fire. The story, it doesn't exactly take precedence over other more significant aspects, though having it be the 3rd installment of a Valve's game, we expect something special. We've been over the linear and bare storyline. Having our motley cast of survivors go from point A to point B, rinse and repeat, perhaps Sela could play a larger role. Is there an even greater objective other than surviving and seeking a safe place? What's it like in the other parts of the world? How exactly fucked are we? If you're not going to stray from the classic story formula, considering it's more of a character-driven story, then the third group of survivors better be damn awesome. Whoa! Don't you guys love those intense and gritty versus matches where you're teamed up with 3 other equally as skilled players and you guys are up against a formidable skilled team that rivals the power of your team? Therefore, it becomes a fierce competition between both teams. Both sides are constantly attempting to eclipse the other team with better tactics, better coordination, and better teamwork. The scales are constantly tilting. That's why I want those few per competitive games. However, that number has dwindled to such a minuscule number, it's practically impossible to find one. Competitive play is designed for players that want to participate in a more serious and competitive game. Ranks, rewards will be included, adding incentives for players to actually do well in the game. In competitive play, you're dedicating 30 to 50 minutes of your life to this game. There will be severe punishments or penalties if you leave the game early or troll. I was pretty hesitant to put this idea in the list because this might not even suit Left 4 Dead due to the scoring system, random variables that occur in each game, or I'm simply copying Overwatch. Well, I've been addicted to Overwatch, like that's the only game I've been playing. Maybe this is a bad idea. If you have any suggestions on how we could amass more competitive games, then I will be happy to hear it. And no, I will not kill myself. Thank you guys for watching and wasting 10 minutes plus of your life because this entire list is irrelevant. All we want is a release date.